Same. Oh, bless me. Hello, our name is Alicia, and we play Marth in every single Super Smash Bros. Game competitively. We play Clarin and Rivals, and we also play Corrin in this game because Corrin is kind of like Marth. About, I think 10 months ago, we made a video about tips and tricks we had for Marth and sort of how we like to play the character and things we like to do. There are some things in that video that we want to expand on and feelings that we want to update from that video. So the first thing that comes to mind is down tilt. In the video we said that this move is really bad because at point blank it's pretty unsafe and it's very hard to get the tipper. That wasn't the tipper. And we agree with that. However, we recognize that because it puts us so low to the ground down tilt, it's very good because it just kind of like a lot of outer shield options that are rising can't hit this because of how low I am to the ground. And I can always just like dash back, which also keeps me low at the very end. And maybe I can do like a slingshot at that. And another thing we said that we didn't really like was that it doesn't really have a lot of frame advantage even on hit. So it's like it's good for like tech chasing, but like look how far they get sent. And like if I try to run up towards them, they have already had an opportunity to attack way before we reach them. The reason why we've changed our sort of our feelings about down tilt is partially because in a lot of positions this is just a kill confirm, and another reason is that landing down tilt is puts someone into a position to perfectly apply more pressure. So we think that Marth's strongest position is when he's doing corner pressure to his opponent. And if down tilt sends at such a horrible angle down low, right? That's exactly what he can do. It sends into a perfect position to just apply more pressure. So we think that we feel a lot more positively about down tilt, especially the weak hit down tilt at like 130 range, because it sends so low that very few people are actually like ready to tech it. And that's why we turn teching off, because the assumption is most people aren't going to tech, and if they do, they're going to have a bad tech option. So we feel a lot better about down tilt. We just wanted to say that. That's like a big thing that came to mind that when we were reviewing the old video, that's one of the big things that we felt. Because of the safety on this move, or how fast it is compared to Marth's other tilts. So down tilt is very good as like catching people who are running in. And so is forward tilt. Forward tilt's also very good at that, and it's also an anti-air. But down tilt's kind of special because it's way less committal. And because it lowers our hurt box so much, we just need to worry about getting hit so much less. And that's very strong. So that's why we're sort of making this video, is it's sort of mainly because of down tilt, and we just feel a lot better about it now. And we want to expand on like corner pressure and shield pressure because we sort of hinted towards that in the other video, but we think it's important for us to like talk about that more. So something you'll notice with Marth's aerials is that they're pretty safe on shield. Like at best, neutral air is -3. I want to try and demonstrate that. I'm that low to the ground, right? It's -3. So, and then like landing up air is also -3 when it's perfectly spaced. Although it's much harder to like get comfortable landing it that low, it is still possible. So Marth has 2 aerials that are -3 on block, and both aerials are like, in the last video I described them as Marth's best moves. So them being -3 is very powerful. And also, so -3 is only punishable by like 3 attacks out of shield in the game. Like Mario up B I think might actually be the only one because it's the only one that actually can hit Marth from over here. And so if like you don't shield this right, you just get hit by the tipper and you just get sent off stage from that shield poke. Yeah, and you just sometimes die. And like pretty much every single one of Marth's moves, just if you get hit by like one of Marth's moves, you just have to like deal with a shield break. This tipper I think is enough shield damage to. Okay. So you just kind of have to like do something when Marth puts you into this position, and that's terrifying. And in the video, the thing that we hinted towards was that I can just always not like I can just always just not. And then if you get grabbed, it's like, will I try and juggle you? You just might die if you don't press an air dodge button, and if you do, it's like, well then I can just combo you. It works better at low percents. Like way better at low percents. Like if you just press nothing, you just get kind of hit, and if you don't PI properly, you just die. Or if you're in a bad position, again, you just die. I can't do that. Let's pretend that they have bad DI in the air dodge, right? And I hit them with a weak hit, then they just have to deal with that, and that's a kill confirm. So like they just kind of. I really wish I didn't have them set to DI out right now. That should also kill. I don't know why I didn't. It's because the percent is too high. So like you just have to do something, and it's super duper heavily Marth favor. And if you just don't, you just like sometimes even if you do hold shield, you still get hit because of shield poke. And like it's pretty easy for Marth's moves to shield poke. He's like, his down tilt's like designed to do that. It is the quintessential poke move in this video game. So like just all of Marth's moves shield poke. So it's, the opponent needs to do something. Why was that -5? Jesus. But when they do something, their out of shield options have like, Marth knows where their out of shield option is going to be. So if they jump out of shield, it's just like, oh, I just neutral air again. If they roll in, I just neutral air again. If they, I didn't mean full health. They just neutral air again. If they roll out, I just neutral air again over here. And this is very powerful because like, I can just reset the situation by landing a perfectly spaced neutral air again, or like maybe killing them if it's during their animation, like during the lag of that. And so like I want to like give an example of this. So if you're scared of getting a shield broken, and I read that, you just kind of like get hit by a kill by Marth. You just get hit by kill move. Oh my god, I hate crouch crit box shift so much. Why does his legs do that? There we go. You just kind of get hit by kill moves, and you just have to take that. again, if this wasn't Cloud, then I would also like be able to just send them off stage. So like you don't want to have to be put in that position, and you can use an aerial, of course, but like I have a sword move, and like it's just, again, it's super heavily Marth favor. The opponent does have options again, but it's so heavily our favor that it doesn't really matter a lot of the time. And if I could just do whatever I want, so learning how to like do shield pressure and like, oh, you're there. So people are going to be playing against Marth scared though, because again, if they get hit, they just get put into an awful situation, like right here. Why did you do that, Cloud CPU? Why can't it recover? So yeah, this is like very, very important to learn as a Marth player. Like other high pressure characters that like just want to hit you up close a lot, like Fox and like Roy. Except instead of Marth being like rushed down like those two, he's just a defensive character. So like he doesn't like force you into that position, but in exchange he has much better defensive neutral. Something I would just want to mention is that this is just an incredibly good mix-up, because if someone's trying to parry like a forward air or something, then I can just do that. This is just the timing mix-up on this, like slow fall Nair 1. It's mean. It's very mean. And we want to talk about also more emphasize the importance of practicing. So like learning how to land both the second swing, which is that one. Learning how to land that close to the ground is very important. Not only for frame dead on shield, but also for short characters. You really want to know when you want to delay it when you're rising, and when you want to fast fall. And you want to feel very comfortable with this. And you also want to know when to do timing mix-ups into the third hit, or the third swing, like that. That was the third swing. That second swing. That second swing. That third swing. So sometimes that like second swing will hit someone like even when you're up here. So maybe you want to fast fall early, so that you always land second swing super low. Maybe you don't want to do anything at all, so maybe you don't want to fast fall. So you just do second swing like low like that. It's very important to practice, and another thing that I think is very important to practice is feeling comfortable with your positioning. If I down tilt and then I want to do like a approaching aerial, I don't want to hit the weak hit of forward. I want to hit the sweet spot. So like I want to, like, you want to practice putting yourself in that position and figuring that out. And like, here's an example. If I do full, that's like, this is full drift. This is some drift. This is a delayed neutral air, which connects more consistently than a rising neutral air. This is a super delayed neutral air, again, more consistent and better at comboing, and better at hitting combos. And then you have like a retreating neutral air, and then you maybe to like bait someone out, you like do neutral air and then you drift back with it. So you see, I'm doing a lot of this right here, and I'm not meaning to do that. I want to start drifting. I want to start drifting forward after I've left the ground, so that I can turn around more quickly. But if I do this, then I'm already super close, and this is just very tough to input, right? So practicing is just so important. Like if I want to hit short characters, I need to practice this so that my third swing is always landing close to the ground like this. And this is also important with ledge. You need to know your timings for how to land your aerials in precise moments. I'm very consistent at it right now, but like in bracket I'm not. So it's you need to feel comfortable doing this. If I want to like catch someone out of shield, I may like down tilt and then do that. So being able to buffer this with slingshot is very nice. We've always done this without slingshot for a very long time, like doing this, but we didn't know you could buffer it, which is what we think slingshot is. We've always done this way before anyone called it slingshot. It's just we didn't know that you could really buffer it, and it was so easy. So, so doing this in neutral is very important. Having your different timings is so important. Like, forward air is so much faster than neutral air, right? If someone thinks they're gonna be able to react to neutral air and you just forward air, well, that's a mix-up. That's very important to have. And forward air puts people in different position, and that's very scary. So like you want to practice your retreating aerials, you want to practice approaching aerials like that, you want to practice staying in the same place, you want to practice micro drift after you've already left the ground. So here I drift back a little bit right before landing. And you really just need to feel comfortable with this, and this just takes practice, and you're not going to be able to really do anything otherwise. Another thing you really want to practice that I want to emphasize, Marth has a lot of combos, and a lot of very difficult combos and that are specific situations, but their reward is so high that labbing them is just so important. Like, I'm not quite sure how to demonstrate this, because it's like, what do I show people to convince them that this is the case? I think that doing it with rage would help. Okay, so like... At 30%, that doesn't send and tumble, and I can combo into tipper forward smash. I can combo into tipper dancing blade. That wasn't a tipper. I hope it's easy to understand what I mean. But if I have, if we have rage, then suddenly this just sends into tumble. So I want to do something else. And when people are in tumble, it's like, do I want to go for dash attack? Maybe I can still get a forward smash in the right spots if they have bad DI. Maybe I want to chase them and try to catch them before they land so they can't tech with dancing blade. What different things keep them close to me? And like, there's so much that it's like impossible to just go over them all in a single video. And so just that they can tech that. Knowing this stuff is like very, very important, and like feeling comfortable adjusting your combos to be what works then. Like if there's platforms involved and I get a neutral air, do I go for a full hop? That's much more difficult, but it's very strong. Do I want to, if I land a neutral air, do I want to do dash cancel so that I can combo one again? So if I just do a regular initial dash, I'm pretty sure they're too far away to combo out of it, like that. Yeah, it doesn't combo. But if I do a dash cancel, it does combo, right? This is a dash cancel where my initial dash is canceled into a walk. There's a lot of very small, tiny things like that that you just need to be aware of. And like, just sometimes randomly this will start just killing, and you need to be aware of when that is. This works on all DI, I'm pretty sure. A lot of things on Marth work on all DI, just you need to react and have the inputs down. I want to show this, because I found a kill confirm at Samus with back air at 20 a couple days ago, and I just want to show something similar to that. Because just, this character's absurd sometimes and kills you at the Lao Mao %. They're set to DI in, I think, by the way. I can't do it. Please. There we go. I count that. So practice is just extremely important. Also, something I didn't talk about in the video that I maybe should have gone over, like some of the basics of Dancing Blade, is that down 3 keeps them closer to you. So generally you're not going to use down 3 until high percent when stuff gets sent, when you start sending people very far. Because just people will be too close to you where like down 3 doesn't help you at all. And then doing delays on the hits is very, very powerful. So like, especially at higher percents, or when you're like next to somebody, doing delays is like the only way to actually like connect them all properly. So if I just, it still works, but it's actually, that might be easier. So just learning your delays and like what you can do at different ranges and your different timings at different ranges, it's different for every character. But for the most part, there's some general rules you can follow for each character that are somewhat similar. I wanted to see something. I want to ledge from side B then. You're not gonna have that. So, in neutral, Marth is going to try and make the opponent initiate onto him, and so, like, if I do, this is like, or this neutral air will make someone think that I'm going to go in, but then I drift back, and then I can anti-air somebody. If somebody tries to hit my shield, I just up B to shield them, because any move that's close enough to our shield and also -5 or worse will get for that. Which is very, very strong. My voice is struggling a lot this morning. A lot of Marth's moves send outwards, so like you'll have your back airs, your forward airs, your neutral airs, your grabs. So generally you do want to be pushing people towards offstage, although in a lot of matchups you do also want to be sending them above you for juggles. Because Marth really likes juggling people as well. I'm just trying to go over ways to get somebody into the corner. A lot of Marth's tilts are very effective at playing responsive to the opponent, so this right here is an anti-air. It also covers grounded approaches, so is down tilt's much faster. Up tilt also is an anti-air and it puts for a juggle, which is good in, again, a lot of matchups and positions, especially on platform stages. If you like platform pressure, it's good on Final Destination. If you don't like platform pressure, because then your opponent doesn't have anywhere to land. And so, like, you really want to learn how to make your opponent initiate and do bad options, or that you are options that you like. So if they try to roll in, you want to be able to cover that roll with like a neutral air or forward air. If they're going to jump in, you may want to do retreating forward air. Maybe you want to do preemptive neutral air to try and catch them. Do back air if that high percent to just try and hit them. Like a lot of Marth's kit is just specifically designed to play sort of keep away and to make someone come in. This doesn't mean Marth can't play up close, but it's generally more so just to pressure them when you're already in advantage of some kind. So very important. Like here's an example. If I like intentionally keep whiffing down tilts against somebody, to pretend I'm trying to catch their approach in, maybe they'll try and jump, so I'll dash back forward tilt when I think that they're ready to do that. Or if I think that they are going to try and catch us overshooting, we will just do that and hit like an aerial if I shield their aerial, and then I just neutral air to shield and hit them for it. Might get my combo. I think I get forward it. Yeah, I get forward it. And so part of this, a lot of this is like having good movement and being able to space where you want all the time. Now, a lot of Ultimate players just don't do this, and frankly, a lot of characters it's not hugely important. For fast characters that want to do a lot of pressure up close, think like Marth and Roy, Fox. You really want to practice your movement so that you put yourself in the exact position that is the worst for your opponent, simultaneously being the best for you. So like, if I hit this forwarder, right, it doesn't have a ton of hits done. So if I have our opponent here, if we have Cloud CPU, hold down the shield button. If I have our air dodge, and I hit them with forwarder, you'll notice that forwarder doesn't have a lot of hits done. So if I hit it too high, they'll be able to shield in time. And so being aware of your openings and like your best punishes out of them is so important. And you need to be very comfortable in what you're going to be getting. So like, sometimes this will work, and you can get tilt off of that, or another neutral air, maybe. And sometimes it won't. Sometimes characters will crouch under this, and so you need to either delay your neutral air, or space it further away so that the lower hitbox connects. And you need to feel comfortable, because you see me messing it up because I don't really practice this video game anymore. But like, you need to feel comfortable in your options, and even just a little bit of labbing, like doing this, practicing your turnarounds with dashback aerials. Figure out how to put yourself into the positions that you want so that you can feel comfortable with the character. Feeling comfortable is so important to getting your big openings. Again, also true for characters like Roy and Fox. Because if you don't feel comfortable, you'll do easier to deal with options, and your pressure won't be nearly as strong and effective. So just like practicing like basic movement and your basic confirms, or with Marth, you're just confirms in general, because he doesn't really have basic confirms. He's just a complex character. It's so important. It's very, very important. Yeah. I hope I'm communicating that well. So you like need to press an option, and so Marth fiends off of you pressing a option and him predicting it, or doing nothing. So if you were to jump here, I just like hit you out of it. With like a forward tilt or something. So something I want to say is that I think the Easaw smashes Smash Wii U. Video is very good at teaching people shield pressure, or like the basics of it. And then also watching high-level players do it is very helpful too. Oh, this move. I think I might have touched on it earlier when I talked about how to like conditioning people to do silly things and like hit my shield and just up B, haha, I'm an advantage. But yeah, if someone like hits an unsafe trigger on field, -5 or worse, then I can just up B it if it's not spaced. This is so powerful. Very good tool to have. And it sort of leans into the whole Marth plays like whiff punish, Marth plays preemptive and predictive. Last thing I want to touch on is a common scenario right here is so if someone jumps from ledge, then you're doing neutral air ledge trapping, then you'll often land Nair 1, but because they're in the air when you hit them, please recover. Because they're in the air when you hit them, you can't really get your normal follow-ups. So like, in this position, you generally kind of want to just go for like a forwarder or something. Sometimes you can go for neutral. I just wanted to mention that because it's a pretty common situation. Nair is very good at ledge, and it's good to know that you can actually combo off of that Nair 1 at higher percent. Usually only around kill percent it combos, which is fine. is fine. I think that this is a pretty good video. I'm going to try and include clips. And yeah, that's awesome. Which is, I think that Marth's shield pressure, or Marth's corner pressure in particular, is unfair. And that neutral air especially is like a DLC move. It's just very oppressive.